Hey folks, Jim Thomas here, Fitness Management and Consulting, and I appreciate you being here at the channel today. And our topic for you today, it's keys to a profitable gym business. The keys to a profitable gym business. We have 9 things for you to take a look at, see where you fall into each of these. Are there some adjustments you can make? And if you're brand new at this, consider carrying this around with you, or consider watching this video, more than once to make sure we're focused in on each particular category. So number 1, key to a profitable gym business. Number 1 is get organized. Get organized. Make sure all your lease agreements are in place. Make all your licenses are in place. All your independent contractor agreements are in place. Your employee agreements that you have everything organized and in place. I mean, the reality is, when that day comes that you decide you want to sell, these are all things that people are going to want to see. And also, when it comes to getting organized, know when your bills are due. Know what kind of grace period you have. Know how all of this works. Really monitor it. So let's really get organized. Let's don't wing it. Let's don't fly by the seat of our pants. Let's know where everything is, why it's there, and what's going to be the next step. Number 2, let's keep detailed records. Okay, let's keep detailed records. For example, are we monitoring, our P&Ls? Are we keeping good records on our P&Ls? Are we looking at our key performance indicators? What's our percentage of rent to our revenue? What's our percentage of payroll to our revenue? What's our percentage of recurring fees, to our revenue? What is our acquisition cost? What is our cost per sale? What is our cost per call, our cost per show, our closing percentage? Okay, make sure we keep detailed records of all of this. What's happening? Why is it happening? Because you're going to find you're going to make better decisions if you understand it. And I'll tell you something else that's interesting about this. I would go so far, I'd keep track of what I'm doing every month from a marketing standpoint. How many sales did I get, calls did I get, appointments did I get, what marketing did I do, and what did I spend? Because I know I go into a lot of clubs and we're trying to get them fixed, we're trying to get them turned around, and I'll typically ask the question, well, hey, when was your best month? And it was such and such. It was June of whenever. Okay, I said, great. What did you do then that you're not doing now? Well, Jim, I really don't remember. I don't remember what we did then. Okay, well, write it down. Keep detailed records of what you do, because this will also help you going forward. It'll also help you if something is not quite working. You can identify it quick and hopefully get that fixed. Number 3, in terms of keys to a profitable gym business, is analyze your competition. Be really aware of your competition. And your competition is not always the brick and mortar, the boutique around the corner, the big box around the corner, the low price, high volume, the luxury model. It's not always that, although it can be, okay? But it's also, Peloton. Is that a competition for you? Okay, is Beachbody, online, is that competition for you? Look at all of your competition. What are they doing well, and what are they not? What are they doing? What are they not bringing to the marketplace that you can bring? Okay, because ultimately the reason you analyze your competition is to create for you differentiation, because the greater job that you do of providing differentiation, the greater job you can do of going after uncontested market space, you no longer have competition. And this ultimately is kind of where you're looking to go. So make sure we analyze our competition, make sure we know what's happening. Keys to a profitable gym business, we want to make sure we understand the risk and we understand the rewards. And it's all going to go hand in hand. What's the upside to all this? Well, it's this, and this. Well, that's not going to exist unless there's some kind of a risk that's attached to it. There's always going to be risk. I see this a lot, when I get a chance to review business plans for folks and everything. Hey, here's why it's going to do great. Well, what are the risks? Well, hey, there really are none. Well, if there's no risk, there's no upside. Okay, there are risks. Make sure we know what they are. Okay, what are the risks? You might have, global pandemic. You might have an ice storm. You might have a hurricane blow through. You might have a downturn in the economy. You might have world events. You might have new competition come in. You might have loss of key personnel. Okay, could be a lot of things, right? Okay, what are those risks, and how are you going to mitigate those risks? Think that through. How are we going to mitigate that? Because you can, and we do it all the time, but make sure we understand it. But know that there are risks. There has to be risk if there's going to be an upside. Number 5, learn to become creative. Okay, learn to become creative. And what I like to do on the creative is I like to talk to everybody. Hey, what are your thoughts? What are your ideas? Go outside the fitness industry. What are you doing? What are you trying? What have you seen that's worked? There's a lot of ideas that we can get, from talking to other people. But the more creative you can get, you're trying to keep all of this fresh and new. One of the hallmarks of the long-term success of the gym industry is you want to keep your facility as new today as it was the day that it first opened. And being creative with this and creative in how we do things is going to go a long ways, toward getting that done. Okay. Number 6, stay focused. I maybe could have made this one number 1, right? Stay focused. One of the biggest killers, if not the biggest killer of gym operations, is complacency. We get complacent. Okay. We get, I refer to it as success apathy. We get success apathy. And just because we've had success in the past doesn't mean we're going to have success in the future. So stay focused. Keep doing the things that made you successful. Keep doing these things. I see this all the time. Sometimes you see this on bigger picture where it kind of plays out and really can cause a problem. But I'll see it at lower levels as well. Whereas, ice storm comes in and all of a sudden, okay, well, that's my excuse to kind of ease up. That's my excuse to not push as hard. Okay, oops. Okay, stay focused. Do not become complacent. Number 7, prepare to make a sacrifice. There's going to be some kind of a sacrifice here. And so here's one of the questions that I would suggest that you ask. In order to make this successful, you've got certain things you want to accomplish, certain things that you want to do. What are you willing to give up to make that happen? What are you willing to give up to make that happen? Okay, that's going to be a sacrifice. Okay, what are you willing to give up? I'll give you a quick example. And this was not at the ownership level. This was a sales meeting I was having with a group. Okay, and we had several folks on the call, and we're going through this. Okay, but there's sacrifice at some level. What are you willing to give up? And I had one young man on the call, and he said, Jim, I'd be willing to give up my lunch. I can sit at my desk and I can eat a power bar and a bagel. Okay, I'd be willing to give up going out to lunch every day. Because if I gave that up, that's 5 hours a week. That's, roughly 20 additional hours a month that I'm going to have for follow-up. That's 20 additional hours for additional production. And I can sacrifice my lunch. Going out to lunch, I'd sacrifice that. So be prepared to make sacrifices. Sometimes the sacrifice is you may have family members you can't associate with as much because they're not as positive as you need them to be. And that might be a sacrifice that you make. So whatever it might be, just know there's going to be some sacrifice in there. Be prepared to make it. Okay. Number 8, provide great service. Provide great service. You want to provide service at a level that your customers never expected. We used to call it back when I was owning clubs, we call it super service. That's what we wanted to do. We wanted to provide super service. We wanted to provide what I would call a country club level service for the price of a health club. Give great service. Go above and beyond. And this can be a great form of differentiation. This can also be a great thing that you can do to help with member attrition, but give great service. Go above and beyond. Give what I would call that good faith effort. It's like if someone walks into your front desk and they say, hey, where's your locker room? And instead of saying, yeah, it's go here and go here and go here, say, let me take you back there. Let me show you. Okay? Give great service. And number 9, our final tip for keys to a profitable gym business is be consistent. Day in, day out, do these things. Okay? Just because you've had success in the past doesn't mean you're going to have success in the future. And sometimes this consistency, it's easier when we're super motivated and things are going our way, and that's great. That's an easy time to do it. Most anyone can do it there. But learn to become disciplined. Learn to do it when you're not quite as motivated, you've not had as good a day, your sales are down, or it's been a difficult day. Stay disciplined to do the things that got you there. Stay disciplined to the process. Don't start giving that stuff up. Do not become complacent with it. So, keys to a profitable gym business. Take a look at these. If you're brand new and just getting started, I would be consistently reviewing this. If you've been in it for a while, kind of compare this to where you're at and what's currently happening and how many of these do we need to work on? How many are we doing a good job at? All right? And for you folks that have not yet done so, please hit that subscribe button. I appreciate it. And if you enjoy the content and find the content beneficial, please consider hitting that like button, and we'll talk to you all on that next video.